I'll ask my guest to do this. There's a deputy from Hood River Sheriff's Department here, so I'm going to speak to him, and hopefully we will be able to find a resolution to this mess. All right. All right, so I guess 32% charge is probably enough on this thing for now.
Okay.
I wanted to make sure that it was charged up. I've been threatened, harassed, and intimidated by deputies from the Hood River Sheriff's Department, as well as the Hood River Police Department, and that includes the Hood River Police Chief. I have it recorded on multiple occasions.
Okay.
I've made multiple calls. I'm a developmentally disabled adult. I have Asperger's.
Okay.
So I can't take care of myself, and I can't go through any of these processes without a guardian present.
Okay.
I have sensory processing issues, so for having to do it next to the road, that'll increase the chances of us having communication difficulties.
Okay.
Also, if people talk over me, especially in a state of crisis, which I've been in for about 6 years, I get louder because it's important to be heard. I didn't start off that way. I started off being patient because that's what all my friends were telling me to do. But then my best friend got shot in the head, and I was made a target by the media and by the news. And the thing I'm dealing with here is that I had to flee the state of Nebraska for my little sister's safety. I need somebody's help getting the FBI to look at the evidence of that stuff instead of blowing me off. I got to try to turn in a illegal firearm that's in Nebraska before the guy who's there ends up shooting somebody with it. He shouldn't even have it. It shouldn't be there. He's a meth addict.
Okay.
And I'm not trying to say he's a bad person because he's a meth addict. He's got a lot of really screwy mental problems. Now, there's supposed to be people that are supposed to help me. I'm supposed to have an advocate that's supposed to help me with this stuff, but I haven't had one.
Okay.
And as far as providing one for myself, I'm incapable. The harassment by the Hood River Police Department has been ongoing for a while.
Okay.
I mean, we're talking about 4 or 5 months.
Okay.
Now, the situation that's been happening in the last few days, you knew there was a guy that cut his foot open down there, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I was the guy who called that in.
Okay.
Anyway, last night there was an issue where, well, pretty much since I got here, where I'm getting shipped around. How many different numbers did we call this morning to get shipped around the board? I mean, there was probably 11 calls made overall this morning because everybody's saying it's not their job. And they're asking me to do things that I'm not capable of doing. My physical disabilities, my mental disabilities, and my financial disabilities prevent me from doing that. They also prevent me from filling out the paperwork that I need to fill out in order to get all that done.
Okay.
Or even getting a hold of it. For me, I live in my car. I'm out of gas. I'm out of money. I get disability money, and for the last 5 months, I've been trying to get help with that. The problem is that the Center for Living, they're not professional. They don't do their jobs.
Okay.
And the fact is that I can't just simply take this abuse from Hood River Police Department or from the public or from the homeless community. And I have no way to get out of here. I have nowhere to go.
Okay.
I have, to this day, no advocate, and I am supposed to be afforded that right. Every time that I talk to an officer, every time I have to turn in a crime, but I can't provide it for myself. I'm incapable. I'm disabled. My disabilities prevent me from doing that.
Okay.
So I need someone to help me to get that, and I need it soon. My disability money that I was supposed to get, without somebody helping me, and I paid a lot of people in the last 30 days to help me with this, none of them did, and I can't do it myself. I've made all the calls that I need to make it in this town, but I have to make them by myself. I get blown off because I have to make them by myself. I'm still being abused. My evidence of a lot of different crimes is at risk of being towed if my vehicle is towed because nobody helped me to make sure that I get my disability renewed.
Okay.
I can't do it for myself, and with the victimization that I'm enduring now, I have to worry that the evidence of the crimes committed by Hood River Police Department, that it's going to get towed before I'm allowed to show it. I don't have the ability to take care of myself. I have no income, and I am too disabled to work. I don't have anyone who is family that is going to help me with that.
Can I talk?
Yes, sir.
I don't want to talk over you, so.
You're good. I got a lot more to say, but go ahead.
Well, I mean, conversation goes back and forth, so I'm just trying to figure out what I can do for you today, because you're unpacking a lot of stuff here. What can I do for you? As Deputy Whalen with the Hood River County Sheriff's Office.
Well, sir, you can acknowledge my rights. I'm sorry, those things are being loud.
Yeah.
Like that right there makes it impossible to do this here.
Okay.
You know, but I'm trying to. I have sensory overload issues, so the fact that I'm not... Well, I was talking at this level earlier because I couldn't hear over it, and they were accusing me of yelling at them.
Okay.
Like, you hear that, that's a friggin' semi driving by. It's loud. So then I've got dispatch treating me like I'm yelling at him. Now, I'm obviously just trying to talk over the traffic.
Yeah.
I don't have the ability to record that. I have to record live on YouTube so that officers who want to lie, well, they're busted lying.
Okay.
The thing is, I'm an at-risk adult. I was getting disability, but I didn't have assistance in keeping it.
Okay. So, Sean, I sympathize with your situation, okay?
Well, there's also the abuse by the Hood River Police. I have to be able to be in a safe environment. It's not safe here for me in Hood River.
Okay. Well, so when I first got here, you alleged abuse and harassment by the Hood River Sheriff's Office.
Yes, sir. Repeated harassment.
And the Hood River Police Department.
The police department more so, yes.
Okay. So, I can't deal with any of that because you are alleging crimes against you committed by the Sheriff's Office, which I work for, okay? So, any of those concerns, you got to go to State Police, you got to go to somebody else. You can't go to me.
State Police says they don't police the police, but I also have a recording yesterday with two state troopers that told me that I got to go to the Dalles and I can turn it into a detective there. I can't even get to the Dalles. I mean, this thing is a POS and there's not enough gas to get there. I've been trying to turn this in for 5 months. They've finally was able to record them saying that yesterday, but that's because they were evicting him from his camp.
Oh.
And I've actually had another homeless guy.
Sheriff's Office? I'm Hood River County. Okay. Okay.
Anyway, I don't do drugs. I don't drink. I don't do none of that. I'm just autistic. I have Tourette syndrome, so if I wink at you, it's not because I'm hitting on you.
You're not going to offend me, okay? If you have evidence, the state police told you yesterday to go to the Dalles to turn it in, and you have an issue because you can't drive this car to the Dalles.
I don't have the ability to get to the Dalles.
Okay.
But
Well,
it's also the fact that, like, I called on multiple occasions last night because it reached a peak. It reached a head with them, the harassment by the Hood River Sheriff's or Police Department. Sorry, the only actual issue that I had with you guys at the very beginning was an instance where I don't know if it was one of your guys or if it was one of their guys that was lying to Logan and Shayna. But the thing is that it's been 5 months almost that I've been trying to turn this stuff in. And 5 months of people not understanding it. Just going in doesn't get anything done. Someone has to go in with me or I'll get blown off.
Okay.
I can't actually sit down and process this stuff and organize it. I've got evidence of multiple crimes in multiple states that I've been trying to force cops to look at, and no matter what, when you're homeless, it's nobody's job.
Okay.
And I need to not be continually run around to one person who tells me it's another person. The reason that you're out here is because I already called all the other people that I was told to call, and all those people told me that it wasn't their job, and then you tell me, yes, it's the state police's job. I need to stop getting the runaround. Why am I contacting 3 different agencies over and over and over again for them all to come up with some reason why it's not their job, it's somebody else's?
Well, I'm trying to help you as best I can. Okay?
You are, but here's the thing, is that at this point, I am scared of law enforcement to the point I can't function. I am too petrified to function. Someone needed to be here to prevent these guys from doing that to begin with, because cops do this to the homeless nationwide. They're blowing them off and saying, oh, it's not our job, it's these people's job, these people's job, these people's job. And I go down the line of who I'm supposed to, but then I'm ignored by all of them and told that it's somebody else's job again. Now, there's a guy named Dan who is from the Center for Living in the Dalles, and he, well, like everybody else, doesn't want to believe me when I say it's a runaround. You make the calls, they tell you to call somebody else who tells you to call somebody else. Well, he made those calls, and he got a hold of me and said I was right. Of course he would. I'm right. But, sorry, it's that being too loud. All the traffic. The thing is, I'm an at-risk adult who is disabled, who does get disability, and who is at risk of abuse by the cops here. Now, with you not being able to look into that stuff, I got to go to the state police, but the state police are telling me it's not their job on the phone. Did they not say it's not their job?
Oh yeah, they said it's your trying to help, but it's not going to leave you help.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing, is that it's been a complete runaround. I mean, when the state police tell me I gotta turn it into the Hood River Police, I already tried turning it into Hood River Police. That turned into threats, harassment, and intimidation that has been ongoing until today. Last night, I was walking down the sidewalk. Some guy come out of the woodwork and started yelling at me. It was very scary to me. I got as far away from him as I could. Then the guy tried claiming that I was in on breaking his window. Like I'm the one who called it in when his window was broken. Then this guy was trying to just paranoid crap. Like I don't know if he's diagnosed as schizophrenic or not, but the guy who owns that business also wanted to claim that I was in his alcove. I wasn't. I never left the sidewalk. It's on my phone. On my YouTube, it's recorded. I never left the sidewalk. And it also starts off with me explaining that I'm going into town to get water.
Okay.
I was down there yesterday protesting because I've made so many calls. Do you know how horrible it is for me to have to go to meth addicts because cops are telling me it's not their job to do anything about abuse?
Okay.
I mean, that is a very scary thing. There's also the fact that obviously I can't sort through all of this in this vehicle. There's no way.
Okay.
There's also the fact that obviously with the limited gas, how am I going to get there? There's also the fact that, I mean, really, somebody should have done something about this months ago. There should have been a caseworker assigned. Center for Living doesn't do that. You need an actual social worker, and they are supposed to send an actual social worker out for this. Meanwhile, I got to go through Karen through some other organization. What organization is Karen with? All right. But the thing with Karen is that Like I explained to her what was going on. I tried repeatedly. I've been in contact with her since April 28th. It's not that I haven't been reaching out to any of the people I'm supposed to. It's that literally everybody tells me it's not their job.
Well, it's an imperfect system, okay?
It's not an imperfect system. People in houses can get hurt. People in houses can make police reports. How the hell is it this complicated for us? It shouldn't have even gotten to the part where I needed to file a police report against any agency. Those agencies should have shown up and done something about the crimes that were actually committed and actually told the truth to the other people that were around here instead of assuming and claiming that I was on drugs and doing drugs with a druggie in my vehicle and that I was schizophrenic. No, this is what every officer in America is trained to say about the homeless, to discredit us, and then we never get an honest day in court. We don't have families. You know we don't have families or we wouldn't be out here. Okay. So we're targeted because we're homeless, because we're broke, because we're disabled.
Are you upset? But I'm going to tell you anyway. If you feel that Center for Living is an improfessional organization, and
we all do. We all do. All of us out here do.
Okay. If they can't assist you with getting an advocate, I would consult with them about the possibility of getting either a gas voucher or...
I'm not getting a gas voucher. I am not going to be run off everywhere I go. We can't just march into the sea. As soon as I live here, I'll be in another town where they'll try running me off. Where I'll be sent to another one, where I'll be run off. Where I'll be sent to another one, where I'll be run off. That is what homelessness is. It is victimization. This evidence needs to be seen. That's what needs to happen. There's also the fact that I need my disability money in order to survive. Center for Living, it's not that they couldn't, it's that they didn't try. They went out of their way on this first day that I was there to make sure that I was aware they weren't going to do their jobs. I was aware that they weren't interested in it. They wanted me to fill out their paperwork so they could get their money from the government, but they weren't actually helping.
Well, what I was trying to say was, I'm not trying to ship you off or send you somewhere else or have you walk into the sea, as you put it. If you could get a gas voucher or assistance with a CAT bus voucher or something like that to get to the Dalles, to talk with the state police or talk with another agency there that maybe could provide you assistance with getting your evidence processed. Because there again, you've alleged criminal conduct by the sheriff's office and by the city police.
Right,
therefore,
and I was also...
I am not going to go wading into that pond.
The problem is that they keep sending me to your supervisors.
Okay.
Now the problem is that the supervisor of the police department, he's the one one of the ones I'm trying to turn in. I spoke with him just yesterday. Okay. He attempted to harass me and threaten me and intimidate me for protesting.
Okay.
Now, the thing is that these things are ongoing. There were multiple occasions yesterday where I had contacts with the police, and when I have contact with you guys, most of the time it's because I'm helping homeless people.
Okay.
But the thing is that the limited amount that I'm able to help the homeless people with, it's not a lot. The stuff that you guys have stolen from not necessarily you, but the stuff that you guys here in Hood River have stolen from the homeless as the law enforcement community, including Dean's vehicle over there, that's not right. And the police department and the sheriff's department and the state troopers were all involved in that situation. And the people from the Center for Living, despite the fact that they are taking over the roles of social workers, she never got out of her vehicle, and her job is to watch the proceedings to make sure that Dean's rights were not violated. Okay. And they absolutely were, and still are. He's still marching around town aimlessly with that guitar.
Okay. Well, so that's the best solution I can give you, and like I said, I know you're not going to like that solution.
It's not a solution. That's the thing. I can't do these things for myself. Somebody needs to help me to make these calls. I can't do it all myself. I'm not capable. I can barely keep my electronics on. Mm-hmm. I don't have enough money to go have a coffee in the morning. my disability money is gone. It's gone. I'm not going to get it again because on the 1st, there's a deadline that needed to be done. It needed to be taken care of. I needed a caseworker to actually help me with it. How am I going to get a caseworker when Center for Living, I've already gone there and they've already given me the treatment. And they give it to all the rest of these homeless people too. It's not a treatment that they give us. They put us through a system whereby they can repeatedly get paycheck after paycheck after paycheck for each and every one of us. But they're not actually helping us with any of the things that they need to. We don't have any sort of advocacy in this state. And in this state, we are required to have advocacy for anybody with a developmental disability. And that includes me.
Well, like I said, I sympathize with your situation, but I can't. You're who?
I'm
Andrew Lee. That.
It's bullshit. All this shit has been bullshit.
Okay.
The advocacy center here has been fucking with me for 3 years. I've been trying to fucking deal with my own shit too. You guys are a fucking joke.
He is not kidding.
Bro, you're listening.
I've never met you, man.
It's alright, it's fine.
Like, don't.
I know all of you.
You don't know me.
No, it's alright.
Okay.
It's just like you guys don't know me, and I got all these police trying to come and fucking say all this shit about me, and you guys don't even do your fucking police investigation problem.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the problem is that nobody's investigating. We're all getting sent off to somebody else who sends us off to somebody else who sends us off to somebody else. Now, the problem with being sent to you guys is that I didn't want to be sent to you guys. I was already sent to you guys in multiple occasions and told that I had to contact somebody else. I contacted those other places. They all told me to contact somebody else. How is it that all of you agencies, even though you work together as frequently as I see y'all working together, because I've seen you guys and the state officers as well as the police department actually in town over at the Safeway. I've seen you guys all three out here, all three agencies when Dean's vehicle was towed. I also know that all three of the departments do speak with the people from the Center for Living. And it, of course, in the recordings that I got, it shows that the Center for Living is not sharing key information. Okay. And the Sheriff's Department is not sharing key information with them. And it also shows that they were not in the same place at the same time when they needed to be. So the cops are able to have plausible deniability and say, well, we didn't know. And then, of course, the lady at the Center for Living gets to say, oh, well, I didn't know. And then they get to go back and forth and tell me each one didn't know and that I have to call the other one. So literally, instead of those two doing the adult thing and the professional thing and telling each other, I end up doing stupid stuff like I had to do in Nebraska, where I was the go-between between a lady who was supposed to be an advocate and a crooked sheriff. And for 6 months, that went back and forth, ultimately resulting in being assaulted by Sheriff Scott DaCosta and, of course, State Trooper Lassen in Nebraska. That's what happens when you try to turn in bad cops. We are dealing with this nationwide. No, you guys are all not that fucking stupid. There is no way that you guys are that stupid. The way that I am talked to, like right now, you're being an intelligent person. The way that I've been talked to, especially by dispatch, is as if I am too retarded to even look up the laws before I make these phone calls. No, I looked this stuff up. I made these phone calls after looking this stuff up, and they still lied to me.
Okay.
And he got to hear that this morning.
Like I said, we're kind of at an impasse here because I've offered you the best solution that I can come up with. And I know that you don't like that solution.
It's not a matter of not liking it. It's a matter of I don't have the ability to even do that.
So you also brought up the point of us not sharing information and the plausible deniability, okay? I'll go a step further. I'll commit to you that I'll talk to Center for Living and tell them that we had this conversation and you voiced your concerns to me. I mean, is that fair?
I'm
trying
if they're
to do
going
what
to
I
come
can
here
for
and they're
you,
going
man.
to talk to me, there needs to be an officer present. There does need to be an officer present if I speak with them, because we can't just keep on doing this back and forth like that. I can't have the Center for Living tell me that it's not their job after I'm sent to Center for Living on something. The other thing is, I can't be bullied to the point that I want my life to end and then have them just ask over and over if I'm suicidal. Well, if I was trying to commit suicide, it would make sense to put me on suicide watch. Obviously, I am not trying to commit suicide. I'm trying to get help stopping the abuse that makes me want my life to end. Big difference. So repeatedly, officers who I've tried to turn in have gotten to use the mentally ill tag, pretend like I'm schizophrenic and delusional, and of course have all sorts of horrible stuff that cops have access to that we don't.
Okay.
Like they can have us locked up for trying to turn them in. Locked up on bogus charges. Dual County, 11 separate occasions since Natalie Bollinger's death, they trumped me up on false charges. 11 separate occasions. And they had to drop the charges every single time. And you know what's going on every single one of those times? I was trying to turn in officers, and I literally had to break the law at some points to try to do that.
Okay. Well,
But at the point where I was there, I didn't break the law in all of those 11 situations. It wasn't a me having to break the law thing. It was seriously, there is a situation where I'm trying to turn in the sheriff's department, and they're having me committed or pressing false charges on me for trying to turn them in. Okay. Now I'm dealing with the same hazing and harassing from the police force here, and telling me to go to the places that I've already gone to. Lisa was supposed to call me yesterday, whoever that is. I've got this recorded on my channel as well. They're telling me this Lisa lady was supposed to get a hold of me so we could coordinate with these different places and have this done. But I waited all day yesterday for her phone call. She never called.
Okay. Well, there again, I mean, the best that I can offer you is that bit of advice about continuing to work with Center for Living. Okay, I know you don't. I know you don't.
It's not continuing. They haven't worked with me at all. I'm explaining to you. They have not worked with me at all. They have not worked with him. They don't work with the people who are just evicted down by the creek. They don't work with any of us.
Okay.
They are an inept agency who is fleecing the American public for their money.
Okay.
The American people work hard for that money. Until I injured my back, I worked hard for that money. And I am pissed off that it is spent on crap like this.
I'm sorry. Again, I'll offer to talk with them and advise them that we had this conversation because of your concerns about, you know, plausible deniability and them saying that they didn't know.
Well, that's the thing. If you guys are both here at the same time, then I don't have to take your word for it, because no disrespect, but I got to be disrespectful to every cop because you're all trained to lie, especially when you think that you can use that lie to try to lock somebody up on a mental health hold.
Yeah. He's not wrong. He's not lying. You know it. I know.
I'm not trained to lie.
Oh, yes. You know you are. That's fucking bullshit.
It's like saying you're not trained to shoot people.
Okay.
We can have that.
I don't know what else I can do for you, John.
All right, let me ask you a question. Let's say there's a possibility of a school shooting in Chapel, Nebraska, if you don't assist me in getting information to the FBI so they can do their job.
You should talk to the FBI.
Oh, you want to hear how the FBI talks to me? You ought to hear this. You know what? You guys have a phone? Because I can't record it and play for you the FBI call. They hang up on me immediately.
Okay.
They don't allow me to talk to them. They ask me my name, they ask me my number, and they say, you were told not to call us anymore, and then they hang up.
Okay. I'm sorry for that.
Yeah, I'm sorry it doesn't get anybody to do their jobs. They didn't want to do their jobs. Nobody else does either. You ignore the disabled, and then you tell them to jump through hoops they're not capable of jumping through and say, there's some advice. I don't need advice. I need cops to do their job. Since everybody seems to be in disagreement about who I even go to about this crap, and I explain to each one of y'all, I've already gone to the other ones dozens of times, and each time I get told it's nobody's job, It's got to be someone's job. It can't
Well,
be
we're
okay.
in an impasse. Unfortunately.
It is disrespectful. You're right.
Oh, you're disabled, mentally ill, and you're just like making up excuses just to walk away and not have to do it. I mean,
Well, the term mentally ill is one of the things they use in order to target us, because they
Okay.
can call us mentally ill and pretend that it means schizophrenic. But out of the 509 diagnoses in the DSM-5, none of them are mentally ill. I have been diagnosed with ADHD. I've been diagnosed with Tourette syndrome. I have been diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder. I've been diagnosed with Asperger's, which is now considered high-functioning autism. But the fact is, even a high-functioning autistic person needs help. They can't do these things for themselves. Forcing me onto the streets where I'm going to be victimized because I am an at-risk adult. This is not okay.
Okay.
Center for Living is not going to help me turn the sheriff's department in, or the police department in.
There again, we're at an impasse because I've offered the solutions that I can offer.
What am I supposed to do now? What am I supposed to do now? Advocacy center that's giving me a 3-year program to get me to less than a kid. What am I supposed to do about my friend that's getting fucking threatened for the last 7 to 8 years on a standing stick? So it's been like 8 years for him, 2 years for me. You're not going to get us to kill ourselves. Yeah. You can't touch us. So what? You guys have already tried to steal my granddaughter's house stuff. You guys have already started. Oh man, I can't. Because he said fuck, bro. Oh my God, sorry, you got it. That's right. The lady that did it did not have but it might not have been mutually considered. Y'all let it out. You guys all let it out. We're brother, we're green and yellows, we all represent each other. Right. You're wearing green, right? Yeah, like, you know what I mean? Brother.
I want you to explain this because I do feel that it's correct and proper for everybody get to say their piece. So, go ahead.
No, I think I'm done.
All right.
I'm done. Yeah.
Are you?
Yeah. We
Well,
can't seem
people-
to help you out. We can't seem to.
Apparently, knowing that he's going to have to answer those questions, knowing that he's recorded. My phone was all the way over there, which would have made it difficult.
There you go.
Fucking everybody.
Well, we've got Jesus Polito and Eric Whaler.
Yeah, you said it right, man.
You're welcome.
Most people mispronounce it, so.
My last name is Schwartz. Good luck. Anyway, this is the stuff for Center for Living. We're supposed to call this place. We're supposed to call that place. I don't know how I'm going to keep my stuff charged up. I think I'm going to go down by the waterfront today and park down there because hopefully I will be able to get some gas money there. Also, the tweakers got ran out, so it's a little bit easier area to be hanging out in. Apparently, one of the officers says we're at an impasse. The other one doesn't want to speak because now I've got my phone out close enough to record his voice. So, I mean, what are we supposed to do? You just let this happen to disabled people? This is how it works in America?
Okay.
I swear to God, if I had to fucking work in law enforcement, I'd have blown my head off already. Y'all have a wonderful day.
Unreal, bro.
Right?
Fucking absolute fucking.
Praise the Lord Almighty cheese and rice. You know what I volunteer? I volunteer we roll up some cigarettes.
Fuck yeah.
All right, come on, Thor or Loki. I do believe I might have enough tobaccos to roll 2 of them. Well, one of the biggest
Their
things,
shit.
I don't want Logan and Shayna getting messed with by the cops either. That's
You know you're in the wrong. You fucking sinner, brother. Man, get that motherfucker. Both of those fucking pieces of shit.
this is what it's really like. I mean,
Hundredfold to those two.
you know, they keep on wanting to write down, oh, Sean never tried, and people wouldn't help probably because of the way he acted. No, most of those people didn't help because they were drug addicts. But I still love them. I mean, most of them, I knew them in real life, you know, they were my friends. It was the ones who came on afterwards that were fucking nuttier than squirrel turds. The people from the Natalie Bollinger hate groups. I'm like, oh my God, you know, I never had to go through that kind of hatred.
His face was changing. To me, at least. I don't know, dude. That was fucking.
Yeah, he showed up and he was kind of bright-eyed and
Dude, he kept
weird.
Getting this line down here.
Yeah, he was getting
almost like
frustrated.
a
Did you see the
crescent
vein?
across his fucking head.
Did you see the vein?
Yeah, bro. He was trying.
Oh my
so
God,
hard.
he
had to have
was
his partner
pissed
back him
off.
up.
He was pissed off.
I couldn't fucking affect his buddy as much, so I just kept leaving it to him, dude.
Well, I thought that he held his composure and he maintained a lot more professional composure than the rest of the cops. I mean, holy shit. The two state patrol officers, when they...
Dude, Polito, fuck that guy, bro. I even tried to back that dude up. Because everybody's like, oh, Polito's a piece of shit. And I'm like, I dealt with him like twice, and he was pretty nice. That time, he was a complete fucking jackass. But yeah, fuck Polito. Agreed.
Yep.
Fuck both of those guys, dude. Can't fucking do their job right. They shouldn't have it.
I agree. Now, I gotta find... Oh, yes! I found some
What? Fuck
rolling papers.
That was epic.
All right, these...
Oh, it's so funny because he came up.
Those are not menthol.
He was so ready to like come up here and just like lean into you and be a jackass, dude. And then here, take your paper.
I don't think he was expecting it.
And then I fucking stood up, put my coat on, put my hat on, and he was just like, "Fuck." And then he called back up.
Well,
And then there's somebody over here too because he kept making hand signals to somebody in here.
well,
Pretty sure it's that one right there.
could be.
I'm pretty sure it's that one right fucking there. I mean, it's pretty obvious, actually. To be
On
quite
the bright
honest. I
side.
almost want to go get bagels and coffee for these guys. Like I
Right?
do. That's what I do for undercovers, man. They would have fucking put tracking devices in my fucking ankle. That's fucking highly illegal. Yeah, there's a tracking chip in my ankle. From Texas, because of the Imperium job.
How many other states do that?
I don't know, bud.
Like, I think it's only 3 right now.
When I was in Hawaii, working for
Yep.
a Texas company, and I'm an Oregonian. So, what the actual fuck? Highly illegal to do that against my will. Like, what the fuck, bro?
No, it's not actually. That's the fucked up part, is that is actually not illegal. The tracking
to a
thing
free
also,
soccer?
they have like 3 different situations where it's legal, and one of
Maybe
them
that's why they
that
wanna
they're
track
trying to make it legal is if you apply for government benefits, then you automatically have to get it. Or if you're a felon, or what's the other one? Hell, there was a big old debate about that while I was in high school, because people were like, oh, they're going to put chips in us. It's the end times. Jesus is going to come save us in 7 years.
Ah, man. I want to.
I think
This
one
is
of the...
ridiculous. I fucking, I can't do it alone though. Like you said, you can't do it alone. I can't do it alone either. The more of us that stand together, the fucking stronger we are.
Well, we need people to understand what a crisis it is out here, but that means that we got to get the addicts to, first of all, come out of the woodwork and admit that they're addicts, which most of them have no problems with
I have
that.
an addict. It's up here. It's in my head. And yes, I am. I'm addicted to video games, highly strongly. I'm also addicted to life. I'm addicted to happiness. I'm addicted to friendship, fellowship. I'm addicted to camaraderie. I'm addicted to honor. I'm addicted to duty. I'm addicted to strength. I'm addicted to respect. Oh, but these motherfuckers, they don't have it. They don't have any of it, dude.
Well, they got that whole brotherhood of police. and
Oh,
shit.
no, they already said that they don't want to be a part of it. They did. It's on fucking police recording. I wish I had it on my own record. Oh, I do. That's right. But nobody wants to fucking believe.
Well, on the bright
Hell,
side, at
doubt.
least I got to show you some of my videos.
No, I want to watch them. I fucking want to watch them now because this is no, dude. I'm serious. I do. I was serious when I said I wasn't fucking kidding that I would go in and help you out and stand against this. I have court on the 1st anyway, so I might get locked up just because of that. Because they know that I want to do that, so they're trying to fucking get me arrested and locked up because they know I will make a stand and they know I'll blow their fucking whole fucking thing open, wide open. I'll go to the fucking Supreme Court and they know I'll fucking win. Because I've been studying it fucking since high school. And I'm 37 years old. And I graduated in 03 from Franklin High.
I didn't start looking none of this stuff up until
I started looking up in 1999. Sorry.
I was getting stalked
Yeah.
in 2000,
Oh my God.
2016 and 2017.
Oh my God. I'm being stalked right now. I have been. And I've tried to fucking turn this shit in, but they put me to the advocacy center or the victims advocacy center and then fucking leaned into
Oh
me
my
and tried
God,
to
that
get me to
lady
wake
is
little
fucking
kids.
crazy too. That lady
I
is
can't make this
fucking
up.
nuts. I talked to the victims advocate lady over the phone. And
Oh,
I was
you guys
trying
saw
to
her in
explain
person,
it's
bro?
got to be in person, but it's got to be with someone. And that's where everybody here keeps going wrong. They keep going in by themselves.
All right. All right. Yeah, no, I want to go in with you if you'll go in with me afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Fuck yeah. I got your back. You got mine.
God, the more the merrier. You know, all right, you know Jacob?
I know a Jacob, but it's probably not the same one.
He's got a sword on the side of his
Yes.
head.
Yep.
Yeah, he said he'd go in with me. I'm
Fuck yes,
hoping
yeah.
he'll be able to stay that sober.
I
That
can.
might be an issue.
I can smoke cigarettes only. But the weed thing, man, it's hard, bro.
I can go without smoking weed pretty easy.
I can too, but without any of my other fucking coping mechanisms, dude, I'm losing it, bro.
You know, the only reason I got in with that crowd down there is because I was smoking weed. The only reason I got in with the other crowd over there was because I was smoking weed. That
Yep.
right there. And I don't want to smoke weed.
The
There's
only
very
reason
few occasions where it helps. Last night I was hoping it would help, and did it help me? No. But sometimes it does. It's just that my pain was beyond any fucking tolerable threshold that pot was going to fix.
Gotcha.
I feel weird right now because, like, my whole body was seizing up. Fucking too much water, not enough salts. I was trying to drink other stuff, you know.
Not being able to listen to your own body and fulfill your own needs, and
Yeah, Maslow's hierarchy of needs, and we have to ignore it in order to jump through these hoops. I either gotta starve or I gotta go to the Dalles and talk to a detective that may or may not actually be there. And when I get to the Dalles, what are the chances of them giving me the runaround again?
they're gonna give you the runaround again. I'm at that point because I've already dealt with Portland as well, and I'm at the point where I need to go to Salem. I'm actually at the point where I feel like if I go to Salem, it's not gonna do anything. I need my fucking brothers and sisters to stand up with me and fucking rise up against these fucking bullshit tyrannists and fucking do something about this
Well,
shit.
the only people I can call are people who would show up and shoot people.
Well, I should have the entire fucking Wildland Fire Force with me, including caterers and fucking all of them. Dude.
I don't
Green
mean-
and yellow motherfucker.
I
out
don't
there.
mean that the people that I would call would actually show up, but if they did, their solution for everything is to fucking shoot people. So
No, I know.
the chance of them showing up to help me in court is non-existent. They keep sending me into fucking meltdowns and complete and total crisis by saying, hey man, you know, I'd beat him up. I'd fucking shoot him in the head. I'm like, no, you guys are fucking traumatizing the shit out of me. I'm trying to get away from this violent shit. If you're going to help me, you got to stop talking about the violence.
Thank you.
And by the way, thank you for not getting all fucking hey diddy diddy on that.
Yeah, no. Dude, I'm honest, dude. I'm truthful. I'm not a liar. I'm not a thief. The only reason why I got involved with those groups is because I wanted to help people like me that have that problem. And the meth thing, bro, like I am a fucking Dex kid, dude. They fucking put me on Dexedrine, Ritalin, Effexor, Neuron, Paxil.
I remember Ritalin is fuck.
Adderall, fucking
Adderall is fuck.
all of them, dude. I've been on all of them, dude. I was a fucking guinea pig for this fucking government. And they fucking...
Well, that's another thing. I mean, even Diane Sawyer covered that. You know, there's children in foster care and in the system are drugged at 13 times the rate of other kids. And then there's also the fact that some of those doses are considered dangerous for adults. And then, of course, you've got all these drugs in your system, so you're bouncing off the walls like a friggin' monkey in a tree, and people are like, oh, well, he's got ADHD. No, you fucking drugged the shit out of him. What the fuck is going on?
Thank you.
But then there's the fact that people who've gone through it, they develop PTSD that could possibly have, you know, traits of long-term physical, mental, and sexual abuse. And those can also, some of those can actually mimic the schizophrenic fucking symptoms. Like, let's say, for example, issues with speech. If it's an overwhelming situation and there is a lot of stuff to cover, a lot of people involved, a lot of things to remember, then your speech is going to be affected. If you're schizophrenic, it's going to be affected in a similar way, but it's going to be due to the fact that you're schizophrenic rather than the environment that you're working in. Like, for example, if I'm in a safe environment and I'm not having to deal with traffic, like you notice, they kept on saying, well, stop yelling at me, right? But was I yelling at him or was traffic going by?
Traffic was going by and none of us could hear.
Right? And with the officer here, he was actually here in person, so he was aware of the situation. He wasn't accusing me of yelling at him. He could tell that I wasn't yelling at him. His voice was just as loud. Well, his voice had to be just as loud to hear him. But, I mean, like I said, those phone calls should have been recorded, and without me having the ability to record it and then making me go to my predators to try to turn in my predators, like, we really shouldn't have been run around and sent back to the very same agency that we started with.
Thank you.
This is illegal as all hell.
Yeah. I was part of the fucking program. That's what fucking drives me nuts is they had me as one of those children that they should not be using against these fucking people to catch them up, and they used me in that fucking program to catch up a lot of fucking sexual molesting fucking pedophile piece of shit, bro. And then fucking all that gets covered up, I put myself into foster care. I go through the ropes, I get on paper, I come off paper clean, become an adult, get dropped off at 18 with nothing on the streets, just like you.
Yo.
And come up off the streets, do good, get good, and then fucking have it all fall apart, go back on the streets again with nothing and have everything taken from me. And then go through it again and then have everything taken from me again, and then here we are. My grandma fucking gives me a fucking a blessing. I start doing well again. I fucking get my grandma's shit going good, and then all of a sudden, my birthrights are taken from me. They try to start fucking stealing all my shit, and now my grandma's house truck's almost gone, and I just, shit's unreal, bro.
Well, Mike hasn't gotten back a hold of me. I don't think he's gonna.
Why?
Well, he might be sick, he might be busy, his phone might have got shut off, or he lost it and it's sitting there somewhere.
Man, I don't even know what to do. See, I don't know if to go to fucking... See, I got a couple options, dude, but I don't know which one's the right option. I've got Teresa, I've got Norm, I've got Azure. my rights, my fucking shit isn't being recognized. People are going around fucking either claiming to be me or saying that I was dead and stealing all my IRA, my fucking, trying to steal my IRA, getting my life insurance policy, and all kinds of different shit, dude. Like, whatever, dude. Fuck all this.
All right.
shit.
So when he was saying that he can't get involved in it because of the whole thing with the sheriff's department, like that's something that I tried explaining. And you know, if they're gonna change that rule, but then I'm gonna be told that I have to go to the supervisors, like what the hell? I have to go to your supervisors, but your supervisors can't do nothing because you can't investigate yourselves. And then of course after you,
I got a
just
point
my fingernail.
on that. I'm just trying to remember so I don't forget. I have a problem with that. I even mentioned that when we were doing that. I was like, dude, you're talking about your thing, and we're talking about I'm talking about the Portland people, or I meant Portland, but the fucking county, and they have 3 different fucking jurisdictions right now, just in the police alone. Like, and not to mention that each police officer has multiple jurisdictions that they can cross in between, so that they have different rules that they can engage on at a moment's notice. Dude.
Now,
and
also,
there's nothing that fucking can stop
with
that.
them saying that they can't send Hood River police up here because it's the parking right over by the China Gorge, the police have been out here on multiple occasions in this very parking lot. They love pulling people over in this parking lot. And when they were fucking threatening me and making shit up, and all right, when they first told Shayna and Logan that, when they told him that I was schizophrenic and was doing drugs with a guy in my vehicle, that was in this very parking lot.
They said that about you to them? What? See, they were a part of...
I got it recorded.
Logan and Shayla were a part of the shit that was going on over at Jameer's house with me and my house truck as well, and Shaggy.
Oh, there's an issue with Shaggy too, I guess. He's
I know,
kind of
they're
a
all part
perv.
of Steelhead and all part of the buyout from fucking Imperium against me.
I don't get why. See,
They fucking act like I don't know this shit.
out of the 3 women that I know who know Shaggy, all 3 of them have told me he's a perv and they're not comfortable around him because he's just...
Well, I've seen it, dude. He's abusive. He yells at her. He hits her. He's abusive. He's abusive to women. I've watched it. I've witnessed it.
I'm verbally abusive, but I'm verbally abusive to everybody.
And he's come at me, and I'm like, dude, you don't get to. Like, and he's tried to. But he doesn't get to, and he knows it.
I've never met Shaggy. I only know him by reputation. He's got a reputation for being a pervert who fucking creeps on little girls.
See, I didn't know about all that. I just know he's abusive.
Well, Logan's girlfriend, Shayna.
And somebody's been snitching on them about their kid, got their kid taken away, which I don't like.
Were they taking care of their kid?
Yes, they were. They were taking care of their kid very fucking well.
Well, there's a lot of assholes I know who are good parents.
When they had their kid there for like the week that she was there, I was helping the best I could, minus, like making sure that nobody was smoking in the house around the kid and yelling at people like, what the fuck are you doing? I know he's smoking. There's a baby in the room right now. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Right?
Go outside. We smoke in the house. There's a baby in here.
See, now you sound like a system kid. Yep. Utmost respect for human beings, especially children. Children come first.
Yes, sir. They're more precious and closer to God than anything, dude. Until fucking we ruin them. But I did so well as a father for the first 2 years with both of my children, and have them taken away from me for bullshit.
And that drags you into a hole. I don't know what kind of hole it dragged you into, but I don't know a single father who didn't.
Fucking, and I even tried to tell Teresa. She like sat me down and was like, what happened to you? I'm like, they fucking took my family away. My family left me. I have nothing.
I got a lot of friends of mine that are dead because their kids got took away. Most of them over fucking false pretenses. The cops decided to intentionally mislead a situation, and you don't get to defend yourself. Like, for example, when Jim Haith was dating Polly Olson in Chapel, Nebraska, there was a conflict of their jobs with that going on. And then when he got busted embezzling money and ended up in prison, well, she followed his example. She just did it 20 years later. She's just recently sent to prison. or recently arrested, I should say.
Good. It's about
But it's
fucking time.
$18,000 that she stole, so that's prison time. Also, I got to turn in my little sister because either she lied or the cops lied, and we're gonna get that shit out in court.
I'm not a liar.
If Tara lied to me, that's my little sister's name. Well, she ripped me off for a felonious amount of money by lying.
Tara.
If she told that's my little sister's name is Tara Hicks.
I know, but like Tara's, I'm just saying it plays into my story because I talk about a Tara, and Tara I consider Earth. I call Earth.
Well, that's
Gaia,
what it
and
means.
Tara. Right.
And there's also the Earth Mother or Gaia.
Right. That's what I call
yep.
Earth. That's what I call Earth.
I know you hang
love
out with
Earth, dude.
you hang out with a lot of the same types of folks I do. They're
Yep. I love
rainbow.
this planet, bro.
The problem
I
is
am
we ended up with a lot of rainbow that are drainbows. We had a good idea there, but then they just decided that they were gonna molest children at nationals. Or no, regionals. The guy that they sent down to make sure that there was no pedophilia at regionals went and gave underage girls acid and fucked them. Yeah, way.
No. I understand that. That's okay, but I would never.
Right?
I would never. Like that girl that I met here. This is just a great example. I met a girl that lost her leg to a heroin overdose. Told me the story and then asked me for heroin. And I'm like, oh my God, are you fucking kidding me? One, there's better drugs, and two, you lost your leg and you want to stick another needle in your leg? You want to lose your other leg? Like, wait, what the fuck, dude? If I fucking was smoking weed and lost a hand due to negligence because of that, I'd stop smoking weed.
Now, did I not try to explain to those people that there was a conflict of interest with these people they're sending to me? And then these people showed up and verified that there's a conflict of interest. Am I incorrect about that?
No, you're not. There was a lot of fucking not innuendos, but a lot of, what's the word? Damn it. And then back and forth and, just like.
Going in circles, it's just useless banter. They're trying to fill space and make excuses.
Thank you. I mean, it's just the same shit that my mom taught me. Like, I mean, my mom set me up for all this, dude, and I kind of did it myself too. Like going to school, like when I was in high school, I wanted to be a cop, and my friends, I lost some friends because of this, and I was really looking into it, and then I found out when I was because I do my research on shit before I make a decision, unless I'm where I am right now.
Unless it's an extreme emergency, and then you have to operate with whatever you have at hand.
Right. Thank you.
I get it. Like if you are at somebody's house and their kid tells you that they're being molested, well, you can call the cops right then and there and have something done. But if they're in Nebraska and you're in fucking Buffalo, Wyoming, and they tell you that Andrew Witcher is molesting his stepdaughter, that's a different scenario altogether.
Bro.
Because then you're trying to report it from Buffalo, Wyoming, and they want you to go to Nebraska to fill that out and turn it in. And there's safety issues in Nebraska, same as there's safety issues here. Every time
Go ahead, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to keep you up.
just like here, every time I tried to turn in the cops, it was the same thing. They would send me around to everybody else. What it all comes down to is it is the State Patrol's job. That's what it all comes down to. But then you got to hear the State Patrol saying it's not their job, they don't police the police. Right. I got recordings with them on the previous engagements with the officers where they say that as well. So, I mean, I do have them recorded saying it. I've also got Nebraska State Patrol recorded saying it. They just outright refuse to do their job, plain and simple.
Man, I would not have ever fucking... Man. Oh, this fucking drives me fucking crazy. And that's fucked up, too. You said that stepchild shit. Like, dude, when I went through this shit right before that, dude, like, I did my job so well with my stepdaughter, dude. Like, she told her friend told her mom called us, we drove over there. I didn't know what was going on yet, but her mom knew, my ex, right? And I never married her, and they claimed that I did, and I never did. It was close. But we never finished. We never got through the final bit of the ritual of my family's wedding shit. And that was the familia wedding that she denied and that I had to push out for a week. And then gave her another chance. And then she denied again and doubted me. on my turn, when I backed her up on her turn, through my fucking ritual, through my wedding shit, and we get over to her mom's friend's house. We drive back, I'm still unaware. They were really weird about it. My woman made me park in a different spot where I don't normally park, which blocks off the left side of my truck. And then her friend follows up very shortly behind me and parks directly in front of me to block me in. And then she took my keys away. Right before that happened, she took my keys, and she did it so discreetly, like, hey, let me see your keys for a second. And I gave her the keys, not thinking of it, because it's my woman and I trust her. And then her friend pulls up like shit, like blocking me in. I'm like, wait, what the fuck? Give me my keys right now. What the fuck is going on? And then they explain to me, and I'm like, no, you get this is what's going on. Her dad's been molesting her all her life. We just found out. It just happened again a while ago. We just caught him up. This is how. I'm like, give me the fucking keys right now. What are you gonna do? Don't worry about it. I'm gonna take care of this. I was gonna go kill him.
And see, that's everybody's solution. And how well does it turn out?
I wasn't gonna go kill him. I was gonna go make him do the walk of shame. Anyways.
I know that one, and he should have.
Anyways, so I was gonna do that, and she calms me down, and she goes, listen, I need you to think clearly right now. I need you to listen to me. I need you to get the brothers home. Now, the brothers were at the place of work where her father worked. He was the front desk person at the hotel. Jake worked in the kitchen at the bar, and James worked at the bar. All right, so then they're all at the same place. I couldn't call James because me and James were fucking cool, but I didn't know him well enough to know how to get him home without causing a scene. So I called Jacob, and me and him are like best friends. Like, I was more friends with Jacob than anybody else in the family.
So they stole your keys so you wouldn't go kill somebody.
That's what everybody was thinking, but that's not what I was going to take him out the fucking...
Yeah, Jamie and Todd.
So Jacob, he's like, what's going on? I'm like, I need you guys home. It's an emergency. He's like, what do you mean? I'm like, you just need to come home. It's an emergency, family emergency. You need to tell me more than that. I'm like, listen, dude, if I fucking say anything more than that, Jake, we're all going to jail tonight. And he's like, what? I'm like, just get home. He's like, I'm on my way. We grabbed James. They got home. We dealt with it. The next day, we went out to the victim advocacy center here. We went through all the fucking thing, talked to the cops, talked to counselors, went through that, and then they asked me if I would need help. And I was like, yes, I need fucking help. I need a therapist for this because this is bringing up a lot of fucking past drama that I've dealt with in my life that I don't like to talk about with anybody. Not even my woman knows about this shit yet.
That's the great thing about me being autistic. I will say it straight up like it is. Yes, grown men shoved their cocks up my ass when I was a kid.
Yes,
not okay.
Yes.
I was also sexually assaulted by 6 guards in the prison, which was definitely not fun.
I'm sorry, that's fucked up. And I had it happen to me here, when I was 3 years old, I got raped in my fucking daycare center. And come to find out, it took me a long time, but I finally figured it out. And I finally found him, and I also found my stalker. I saw my stalker that day that I fucking raged and flipped out and had the cops call on me 3 different fucking times because nobody wanted to fucking listen to me. And then also right around that same time, I found out and remembered that the person that raped me is one of the fucking instructors down at the fucking event center. Also works with the fucking rescue department that keeps their jet skis right next to the fucking school sailing fucking for kids.
Miss Jerry was working with a 23-year-old named Brenda at the child care facility, kind of a similar situation. Well, Brenda was having sex with Jerry Sparks' 13-year-old son. You know how long she served?
Not long enough.
Almost 8 months.
That's ridiculous, dude.
If it had been a man, she'd be looking at 35 to 50. Easy.
Unfucking believable.
Well,
I've never raped a fucking person ever in my life.
Women are 11 times more likely to be stalkers than men.
And it's like, dude, I've got all these people claiming all these kids on me and shit, and I know it. I can see it. And it's like, dude, I haven't even had sex with that many fucking girls in my life. 2, I believe a couple of them, yes. And then they put my own daughter out there and fucking try to make this whole fucking fake story up to get me to fucking have sex with my own fucking daughter, dude. Like, are you guys fucking dumb? Like, you guys think I'm that dumb? Like, excuse me? You fucking changed the whole fucking thing. Like, I mean, does my daughter even fucking know? Have you guys been lying to her through the whole fucking time?
There's a guy I used to know named Joshua Aber, and he wanted me to. He said, if you really want to do something about those pedophiles, you got to go to Pornhub and you got to type this in and you got to type that in. He said that is the reality of the situation in a lot more cases than you think. Because the way that you think of it, Sean, is that, you know, these girls are being forced. And a lot of times they're not forced. They're coaxed or they're branded or they're, you know, basically convinced through other family members to take part in these acts. In some cases, the father might say something like, well, you know, it's either going to be you or your sister. Or it might be a situation where mom says, well, you know, let's just take a few pictures and see how they look. Or, you know, if you want to go out with your friends and you want some money to go to the movies and you don't want to look like the broke kid, well, you're going to have to do me a favor, sweetie. See, and you know those girls.
Oh, yeah, a lot of these girls that I've seen in pornos, yeah, I know a lot of them. And it makes me sick to my stomach because when I was younger, dude, when I did hack, when I was raving online, I was a part of Anonymous, and my specific job in Anonymous was to go through porn sites and find underage girls, or what I thought to be underage girls, because I could watch the video and kind of just sense. I don't know how. It was just weird. I don't know fucking how it worked, but I just knew. And that's what I did until I got a part of the Yahoo crash scandal, and I almost got caught up for all that shit really bad, and I had to stop hacking. So
for me, when A-Bear shows me that, one of the things that he was saying is, you know, a lot of these girls who are taking part in this, they're willing participants, but they're still sex trafficked. He said they're unwilling willing participants. And that's where you probably grew up being in the system in the about same time as me. You know what grooming is.
Yep.
So you probably also know what the steps are. I don't know what they are in this state, but I know what they are in Washington State, and I know what they are in Colorado. The steps that you're supposed to take when you're being bullied or when you're being abused. Who are you supposed to go to first?
Your parents.
Yep, a trusted adult. They always taught us that in Washington State it wasn't so heavy, but in Colorado they wanted you to work independently. They wanted you to go to your predator and tell them how it makes you feel. Oh my God, that never worked. That literally never worked. But if I didn't try it, then the teachers would say that I was an instigator for not trying what they said.
Oh, right.
But then when I would try what they said and it didn't work, then the teacher would look the other way and go, oh shit, maybe I shouldn't have told him to do that. He's getting beat up by 4 of them now.
Oh, I've been getting instigated all kinds of times, and I've gotten beat up by fucking several fucking people. Every time, like, man, the times that I got beat up in fucking high school, man, I got jumped by like 5 people at once. The time that I got beat up at the farm, I got jumped by fucking Tim's fucking son and some other dude that had just got done stabbing a girl and then came over to fuck with us. While I'm having a chat with Jocelyn, my stepdaughter, or supposed to be, about, and this is like a year after the whole victim advocacy center shit, slowly bringing up, hey, we got to start thinking about this, and it's okay if you don't, you know, if you're not ready, but if you're not ready, then let's wait. But I want you to start thinking about something, and I want to start talking to you about the fact that what are we gonna do when your dad gets out of jail, right? And that talk went on for like 3 hours, dude. It was a long talk, and then all of a sudden, in the middle, it's 3 o'clock in the morning, pitch black at night, at the farm. There's no lights out there. And then all of a sudden, here comes 3 fucking dudes walking up. I grab my shotgun, rack it, and then somebody fucking flips out because I racked my shotgun in self-defense, speaking, I have no idea who the fuck's at my farm, on my property. I have 68 acres, and I have my stepdaughter out on the porch with me. My woman's asleep with a baby in the room, a 5-year-old in her room. Like, What, dude? I'm gonna fuck. Yeah, you got 3 dudes running up on me. I'm racking my fucking shotgun, and then these guys jump me because I fucking rack. I should have shot the dude. The only reason why I didn't is because I worked in Hawaii with the fucker, and the rest of them were family. Like, what am I supposed to do to Matthew? Oh, I shot your fucking dad. And I've had 2 incidences with guns involved with fucking his dad. Why do I have to deal with Tim every time with a gun?
See, I only got 1 instance with a gun that I worry about, and that's because the guy who has access to it, or potentially has access to it, he's got a grudge against a preacher, well, a wannabe preacher in town. He's got meth use, which of course is no good. He's a younger generation, so he didn't grow up on Ritalin. He doesn't have the same spunk. And of course, he's got delusions. I've got a 3.5 hour or 2.5 hour recording with him where he's just being stupid. Like, he keeps saying things, interrupting me, telling me about a lot of things going on in his life. And when he started telling me about his daughter cutting, the first thing I'm thinking is it's either dad or grandpa touching her. I mean, Jesus, you know, how do I reconcile that? How do I get somebody to listen to that? I mean, the girl's cutting on herself. That comes from a 2-part system. Daddy doesn't keep his nasty cock beaters to himself, and mommy doesn't care.
Right. I hear that.
And you know what? It's not always because mommy doesn't care. I know one of the girls that I was locked up with in Fairfax, she didn't try to tell her mom because her mom wasn't there. But she did try to tell her best friend, and her best friend told her, oh, you just need to forget about it, you know. And so she actually did it differently, though. Like, you know how most girls, they do the Lady Big thing? No, this girl straight up gouged her arm with a soda can, just raked it back and forth. Oh my God, dude, it was fucking nasty. And then they had to come in and they had to, like, cut tissue off of her because it was turning black. It was gross. But like with her, it wasn't her mom that she told, it was her best friend. And people don't get, all of my supposed friends, they don't get that, like, every time that they treat me like that, they increase my chances of committing suicide. And, you know, for them to say that they love me, but then never come forward about things that they were a part of, things that are recorded on my YouTube channel that they admitted to, like, that's just fucking insane.
Yeah. Well, the guy that fucking molested me, all I wanted to do, because I went down there yesterday morning and sat there. And I was going to sit there and wait for him to show up. All I wanted to do was have him say sorry to me. That was it. And I would have accepted his apology and told him it's okay. It was a long time ago. I remember, but, you know, my memories were kind of wiped clean for that shit, so I wouldn't remember. But now I remember because it was opened up because of Janelle. Janelle unlocked it in my mind. It put me through a fucking flip switch, bro. Like, I've been having a really hard time with all of it because she brought up not just that, but several things that I had been forced to forget.
With as impossible as they've made it, do you think you could help me convince a few homeless people down here to go in and help share our stories? I mean, especially with the shit with Dean, that's fucked.
I'm trying to, and I've been trying to work with these guys, but I have most of them down there, because that Cole kid is actually Matthew, which is actually the family's fucking nephew. So it'd have been my ex's nephew, okay? And he's part, like, I was trying to tell you that he was down there harassing me, and he was. Like, I'm not lying about that. And he's been lying. Like, he threw a fucking padlock, a little one, in my face and hit me right here as hard as he could yesterday. And he's been trying to fight me because he wants to fucking fight me. And I won't fight him because I'm a man and I want to talk it out and work it out because I don't want violence. I don't want to hurt anybody because I've killed a kid when I was at NYSB. Like, and I didn't mean to. It was an accident. I was self-defending myself. And then all the kids around me said that. Like, the only reason why I didn't get in trouble is because all the kids around me, when I fucking laid that kid out, I broke his fucking jaw. I broke my hand. When I laid the kid out, all my friends were like, no, it wasn't his fault. It wasn't his fault. It wasn't his fault. And then all of a sudden, all that happened, and then the kid's mom, I'm sitting in the nurse's place with the fucking ice pack, and my mom was a professor there at the time, and was getting done with her class to get down to get me to make sure I was okay. At the same time, the fucking kid's mom is like in my face screaming at me, and then my mom grabs her by the back of the head and pulls her out in the middle of the squall and beats her ass. Like, and gets the fucking security, fucking Professor Lee, you gotta get off of her, Professor Lee, get off of her. Like, my mom went fucking ruthless on this bitch, bro. Like, like I've had to deal with some shit, and
Hold on one moment. This lady is really nice, and I want to thank her again.
Okay, go ahead.
Hey, ma'am, thank you for the water.
I found water right there.
Yeah,
I found water. See the keep out sign? To the left of it.
thank you. I was born cool, but it's real hot. Yes, ma'am. Bye. Oh, you stole my seat.
He's like, I'm driving, fuck off. I've done that too. I was a kid and I didn't know how to drive.
All right, come on, bud. Come on. I gotta be able to do some stuff real quick. My batteries are almost done, so I gotta make sure that they got some charge on them.
Cool. Wait. My, fuck. What was I saying? I don't remember.
That
Hey,
Mr.
Dad, I
Miyagi
get
thing.
interrupted
Sun's warm,
all the
grass is green.
See, that's my thing is, I don't mean to interrupt you when you go through things, but as people talk, like, it makes me think of certain things that are important, and then if I don't get them out, I forget them.
Yep,
it's
that's
important shit.
one of the things that's really difficult when you're trying to get help from somebody,
Yeah.
and they keep going into that themselves. And a lot of the people that I'm told I got to go to, I mean, they're victims of the same shit as we were growing up. Like, they're scared shitless to come forward. They all want help when something happens to them, but when something happens to somebody else, they don't want to return the favor.
Oh man, I did wrong to my cousins, not intentionally at all. I had a really rough time with it, and actually, you know, my ex actually helped me figure out what the fuck actually happened. But I felt so bad, I still fucking helped them. Like, I never. Oh man.
All right.
I helped them, dude. I helped my cousin fucking from a cheating ass piece of shit and not getting married to a fucking ass. And I helped my other cousin, like, with the whole, like, she was like 16 and like liking people and flirting with guys, and I helped her with that, backed her up and made sure that the guys wouldn't like fuck with her, use, abuse, give her ideas and advice. Like, she had this like really cute crush with this car salesman that I was looking at a couple cars to buy, and she's like, oh my god, he's really hot. And I'm like, well, he's kind of older, you got to be careful with that, you can get him in a lot of trouble, you know. And giving advice and shit like that to my family.
See, that was when we ran girls on Pearl straight off. It wasn't that we didn't like those girls as human beings. It's that they bring fucking trouble. When they show up, people's eyes look over there. They see these little girls hanging out with these fucking sick homeless perverts who are fucking strung out on heroin, and they go, oh, well, the homeless are fucking child molesters. No, we run those pieces of shit off.
Right.
They don't last long.
Thank you.
They end up the mountain with a fucking bottle and only one person come back down.
Thank you. Like, what the fuck, dude? And like with my other cousin, I even like went out of my way. Like, I helped her with like things that the family wouldn't even help her with. Like, regardless of what the fuck it was, she needed help, I was there for her. And then I fucking go down there and help her again because, you know, she's struggling, and Mary and Chris are struggling, and I go down to talk to my grandma, and then she shows up and just like has this fast as shit, and I'm like, hey, you can like come hang out and chill for a little bit, let's catch up. And then she like basically moves into my house truck without permission.
I just thought of something. I can record it. 8% battery. Alright, that ain't shit. But
if you can record it, I want to get through this. I'll go through it again.
well, I'm not going to go through that again. There's no reason for us to call those people to get the same stuff. We got a list of other people to call that.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
I mean, Jesus, the list of other people they told us to call is a list that we've also both been through. So, I mean, center for living, center for living.
Like, what the fuck, bro?
Yeah.
But Ariel, and she like basically moves into the fucking house and steals a bracelet from my roommate that her 3 daughters saved up months to get together, and then has me go and take her to a drug dealer to go fucking trade it for heroin. Lies straight to my face because she has it. I'm like, did you get that from my roommate? That looks like the bracelet that was in the bathroom, yo. No, and they lie straight to my face about it. And then I get kicked out because she's causing a fucking scene. And then goes and fucking tries and says the fucking bullshit obscene bullshit because she lost her place, because I lost my place, because she's being a fucking sick bitch. And stealing my roommate's shit. And blaming me for everything. And I felt this so many fucking times, dude. And she fucking locked up her brother, my other cousin Alex, I can't remember which one, for something that she did, bro. And he's locked up for something that she did. And she's admitted it to me. I haven't even seen him fucking since he was a little baby because she got him locked up for something she did. It's unbelievable, dude.
Well, the poorer you are, the less chances you got. The only chance that you actually have is to have somebody there in person. They wanted to keep saying, well, don't you have a friend or a family member? And I tell them, no. That's why you agencies exist, is for disabled people like me with no friends or family members who actually care. My friends are drug addicts and drug dealers. The only reason that my friends are drug addicts and drug dealers is because nobody else accepts me.
Right.
They all treat me like I'm a fucking drug addict or some fucking, you know.
Yeah, it's those
Right.
You got, I'm right there with you. You fucking think you're a drug addict. You're not. Well, you smoke weed and cigarettes, like, so do I. So what?
I got one drug dealer on my channel. I got a bunch of drug dealers on my channel admitting to being drug dealers. But one of them, he was there for one of the assaults by the police in Boulder County Jail. And he knows the name of the officer and everything. His name is Clint. Now, the guy who is my friend, his name is George Helmstetter, and he was a meth dealer in Boulder, Colorado. He admits that I never fucked with that shit. I never sold that shit. He admits that he sold that shit. So, I mean, he was being honest.
Right.
He also admitted to being there for the assault by Clinton. I mean, they put me in the hole. They straight up did not want me talking to anybody or being heard by anybody who might possibly fucking do something. And where they screwed up is that George knows me from out on the streets. He knew me as Starbucks Sean. Everybody knew me as the guy that you go to when there are issues that nobody else is gonna fucking touch. Like the one safe place for those kids to come talk to me without getting thrown out was Starbucks. So they'd come in and they'd talk to me in Starbucks and sit there and annoy the shit out of me. But I got to mind my P's and Q's because at that point in time, I'm basically representing Starbucks because I'm in there so much and because the people there let me know, hey, Sean, if you're going to be in here, we got to make sure that you understand you're in a Starbucks establishment and you're in here a lot. You're basically a representative of the company. We do give you a lot of perks. We give you free coffee. Just make sure that you maintain your perfect composure. And by that point, I'd had perfect composure for over a year. So, I mean, you know, it was the people at Starbucks in Boulder, Colorado were good too. Now, when the kids would come in and they'd come sit next to me and talk to me, I'd explain to them I wasn't comfortable with it. But when you explain to them that you're not comfortable with it, they think you're stretching. So, you know, sure, Sean's not comfortable with it, but I'm going to sit here anyway and tell him about all my problems. And then there was the ones that told me about what their dads did to them. And I tried explaining to them, if you tell me about stuff like that, I'm going to go to the cops about it. And then I'd go to the cops about it, and the cops would tell me, well, the victim has to come forward. And I'm like, well, the victim told me knowing that I was going to come to you guys. Why don't you go talk to her? And of course, when you have one of those girls who comes up and tells you about that shit, you know she's telling the truth when her arms are cut up one side and down the other. And you know, with these, it wasn't just little girls, it was also little boys coming in, and not like
No, I
little,
get it. I
but
get it.
they shouldn't have been there. If you're not 18, you're 12, and I told all of them that.
Yeah.
When they came to Starbucks with their own personal problems, their daddy beat them because they're a lesbian, or you know, similar stuff like that, you know, I'd sit and listen. But beyond that, if I tried to explain it to the cops, they're like, well, what are you doing hanging out with little kids? I'm like, I'm not hanging out with little kids. I try to run these little kids off everywhere that I see them. But in Starbucks, I don't get to run them off. What am I going to do? Yell at the top of my lungs at a fucking little kid in not a little kid, but you know, am I going to yell at an underage human being in the middle of Starbucks, get the hell away from me? No, that's not going to fly.
Right.
You know, kind of like the other day, I was in Starbucks trying to do my videos and stuff, and you can't do that in Starbucks. It draws too much attention, and just like the traffic here, you know, it disrupts my ability to actually concentrate on what needs to be done. And my stuff is way more complicated than taxes. You ever tried doing your taxes with kids screaming in the background?
Yes. I have actually, things. A baby. Taking care of baby, having to do taxes, yeah.
Well, if you're able to do that, you're able to do something that I'm not.
I mean, I play EVE Online, and I can multi-box 10 accounts and deal with the fleet and run evictions, which is a big fucking deal.
Yeah, but it's EVE Online, so everything moves super fucking slow.
Right. I mean, that's why I started playing that game over other ones, because the FPSs were a little too fast-paced, they're getting kind of old. I'd still play Dust 514, but that's about the only one I'd want to play. Because it's connected to EVE Online. Because EVE Online is a game of fucking years, and I've spent so long in the game, I don't want to stop playing, because I finally got to where I wanted to be when I started, and it's like, fuck, now nobody plays.
Now, after all this shit this morning, you see why I need a caseworker and an advocate, right?
Yes. I do too, man. I mean, you're just making me realize that I need the same things over, like, it's just as much as you do.
You're not the only one either. I mean, Dean definitely needs that.
Dude, I wanted to
Dean's
fucking help him
worse
so
off
much, but he
mentally
bugs
than
the
both
shit out
of
me,
us.
But
You
yeah,
know?
you're right.
And then that guy who fucked his foot off, he's worse off than both of us. I mean, him mentally, and then there's the stuff with people talking about beating him up because he's, you know, they're saying, oh, he's mental, and they're going to beat him up. Like, obviously, with you knowing about it and me knowing about it, and those other two people down there verifying it, like, that's 4 people verifying that there was a safety issue with Dan that was already existing before that with his foot going through there. People want to hurt him.
I mean, he hurt me, and I didn't do anything.
Right, and thank
He fucking
goodness for
threw me
that.
to the ground and then kicked me in my back, bro, and I didn't do anything, and I fucking sat down. I was like, just apologize to me, dude. He's like, I'm sorry. I'm like, cool, right on, let's have a fucking hot dog. Like, what the fuck, dude? I don't
Yup.
want violence with anybody, dude. I just...
And by the way,
Get over
thank
your
you.
poor sympathy fucking bullshit. Apologize for your garbage, because I'll take accountability for me if you can do the same for you.
And thank you for sharing with those. I didn't know that beforehand, so when I sent him over there to go eat them hot dogs, I just was wanting to make sure that he had food. I didn't know I didn't know he'd assaulted you before.
Yeah. And I know I got high feet, but dude, I'm an actor, bro. You know, like I went through drama so much that it's just a part of me, dude. It's not that I'm not multi-personality, dude. But I kind of am, because with everything that happened to me, dude, I had to like create this
borderline
ultimate, like
personality.
persona of myself so that I could fucking put my child away
And
deal.
and that's the thing, is that it's a persona. It's not another entity that your brain has created.
Right.
See, like
So
the
it's like the child, man.
it's borderline personality
It's my
disorder
inner
in that
child, bro.
situation. It's
Right.
it's you having to do something to replace it. Like I sum it up by telling people have absolutely no self-esteem, so I replaced it with a massive ego. And
Oh man, that's a good one.
well, it explains it, and that's the thing about those of us who grew up in the system, that grew up in all these classes, and we get out into the mainstream world, and you realize that none of the girls you're going to school with that are cutting on themselves, none of them have been through this training. None of them know who they're supposed to go talk to. But then you also get to see when they go and talk to those people, what happens. The cops show up, and they give the victim an option between staying with their predator or getting locked up.
Right. And then, like, dude, I get the whole ego thing really well because it's one of the things that I had a hard time working with being a firefighter. And then I get through it all. I fucking break my ego and then rebuild it 3 different times through my fire career. I became a crew boss, and then I sit here and I have to fucking deal with all these other kids that fucking go through the same problem. I'm trying to help them break through it quicker than I had to, but they can't even get over their fucking thick-headed fucking bullshit and say I have a fucking ego when they fucking mistaking ego with my pride.
Well, I don't have the standard pride most people call pride, kind of like what most people would consider honor from the days of knighthoods and stuff.
Yep.
I ignore that shit. No, the honorable thing is, all right, you got 2 victims. One of them is black, one of them is white. Both of them are raped by the same police officer. Now, should both of those people do the honorable thing and work together to make sure that that officer never gets to rape anybody ever again? Or should they do the BLM and everybody else thing and go at each other's throats? Because BLM doesn't seem to recognize that white people can be victimized too. We're victimized the more poor you are.
Right?
No, Black Lives
Fuck,
Matter.
dude, I'm sorry, dude. I'm firefighter, dude. You say BLM, I think Bureau of Land Management. We're talking about. I know what you're saying, but I just have to. It's done. The acronym, you guys are done. Anyways, go ahead.
Well, the thing is, it's not an argument over whether or not black people are people. They absolutely are. It's not an argument over whether they're victimized more than some other groups, because they
We're all
are.
people.
But then there's the fact that you and I are both part of. Well, because you were in foster care. That would be 4 now, because there's former foster children. Well, we should go from the top of the list. Top of the list is homeless people per capita or homeless people per percentage. So those 2 are interchangeable. And then the 3rd one on the list is former foster. I think the 4th one on the list is former foster kids. But that also depends on the list of abuse. But the top 4 are all interchangeable.
Right.
I mean, just depending on what type of abuse it is. You get into gender, like, men are actually higher on most of those lists of being victimized than women are. But not always. But men and women are on the list before skin color ever becomes a factor. And the gender doesn't become a factor until, like 5th or 6th place. So we've got all of these statistics for all these different types of abuse. So, people have studied this stuff. And then, like, it's ignored. It's ignored by the courts when it's in their favor. They can have Johnny Depp and What's Her Bucket have millions and millions of fucking dollars to have all sorts of witnesses come in. And me, I wasn't even allowed to show evidence. I wasn't even allowed to show up in fucking court.
Wow. Man, I hate all this shit, dude.
So do I.
What is today? 29th? 30th?
I think it's the 28th, isn't it? Let me see.
See, I can't even keep
It's the 29th.
29th?
It's the 29th.
Fuck, I was right. Okay.
Yep. So I spent all that
So I got,
time
like, 3 days.
for, like, I got to get my stuff done for my disability. I got to try to get somebody to call that in with me. And also I got to, of course, have the ability to record it. So once I got this charged up a little bit, I did plan on heading back to the beach area, because I was told 2 areas there to fly a sign that might help.
Right.
And with all the they still go down there to fuck with their shit, but then they leave quickly because the camp's gone. So they have to go to the far back camp, and they do all their stuff back there for the most part, except at night.
I'm not dealing with him anymore. I can't deal with Matthew's bullshit, dude. I can't fucking. He just wants to fucking harass and fucking abuse me because he can, and because he knows that I won't fight him. So he just wants to fucking harass me. And I'm not a cop caller, so
I am.
well, you know, he already
I'm too
assaulted me
gimpy
through
to
a fucking
defend
padlock
myself.
at me yesterday.
He
The
what?
cops, he assaulted me yesterday and threw a fucking padlock in my face yesterday, and he kept looking around, making sure that he was clear when it fucking be seen, and instead of being a fucking man and fucking just doing it, he was a little fucking bitch boy and trying to make sure that he could hurt me without getting in trouble. See, if I fucking hurt somebody like that, I fucking go turn myself in after I do it.
Yeah.
I fucking deal with it like a man and fucking try to fucking get the words out.
Oh God, I turn myself in before I do something like that. I'll go break some property or something to make sure they arrest me.
Unless I'm doing,
And that's the thing, is
If
that
I'm
it
not doing
shouldn't get to the
anything wrong,
point
then
where
I'm
you
not
have
gonna
to do something like that and then turn yourself in, because in that situation you are the victim, but then again you have to make sure that the situation is documented, and the best way to do that is to turn yourself in, because they're probably going to ignore you.
Right, I get it. I understand that, but like, dude, I haven't done anything wrong for so many fucking years, and I've done so much for the community. I'm a fucking firefighter, and then because of the situation, I haven't done anything. I haven't. It's all situational, and then I fucking get wrapped up in some fucking garbage because I'm trying to fucking help, and then I get called a liar. For what? In what case did I ever show myself to be a liar? Other than when I was a child. And that was what, over plus 20 years ago? Yeah, about 20 years ago. We're 20 years deep of me being basically an adult on my own.
All right,
I was on my
so
own at 14.
that officer said to get a hold of the Center for Living again to try to get a voucher.
I know where to get vouchers and shit like that too. I know where to get food around town. I know where to get all kinds of shit.
You
I
can
know
get
already know how
vouchers
to
for
get.
gas?
The reason why I haven't done any of this shit is because I've already been here, done
Well,
that.
hold
I
up,
should
hold
have
up,
done
hold up. I need those services.
All right, and I can go help you with that shit too, because I can go. There's a church uptown, Middletown by the park that we can go get vouchers from, and there's like food and stuff like that, but I don't remember times or days. The food box bank is up by.
I gotta get this done before the first. The first is coming around. I gotta do something. They need to assign somebody to me.
Assign somebody to you how? In which way? Like a
A
mental counselor?
caseworker.
A
No,
caseworker?
not a mental
I
counselor.
don't know about caseworkers and all that shit. I don't know where to go for all that.
Well, see, that's the thing, is that those officers know exactly who to go to. They were playing stupid.
Right, I know that. They don't want to help. And I would be able to help if I had a phone, and they know that I could do basically anything if I had a phone. Damn near. They really fucking know
Yeah,
that I could
if
do
you had a
anything with
phone,
the
I
computer. So
would
they
have
took my
asked you.
computers out for sure. Won't let me get a computer unless I'm doing what they want to do, so they can make money off of me. And they keep stealing my phones every time I fucking. That's another reason why I fucking stopped doing
Excuse
everything.
me.
Because
Oh,
dog
sorry.
out. You gotta move. That doesn't mean get up in the car. That means get over here. Get up here. Get up here.
Well, here's one thing I can guarantee.
Made
You
up.
haven't smoked any meth, so you're talking a million miles a minute naturally.
Well, yeah.
Probably
because-
comes from fucking being woke up the way you did. You're welcome, and I'm sorry.
No, it's not that. It's just who I am, dude. The reason why they started me on all this shit is because there was a day when I was a kid, I stayed up for 5 days straight without drugs. It's just me. I'm a genius, dude. And
I went 7 days without sleep. Well, 6 days between October 18th. That was my birthday, and I want to say October 23rd or 24th. Like, it was a long time without sleep. Plus, they took me to the hospital and they put a bunch of saline in me, and like they replaced the bag at least once. And the lady came in and massaged the bag once. I asked her what she was massaging the bag for, but that was while the therapist lady was talking with me. And I explained to her the situation with getting the the broken phone for my birthday from Alicia, and how her mom found her heroin on her birthday, and how my card got busted down when I went to go to explain to her that the phone was busted. I mean, it just fucking sucked. But I was dehydrated as all fuck.
Well, with me, like, what was I just thinking? Yeah, it doesn't matter.
I gotta find somebody, preferably in a house, to make some calls with me and explain this, but they also have to understand it. One of those cops was telling me that he's got a son-in-law who's autistic. Something like that. Or maybe his stepson's autistic.
Well, Jocelyn, not my stepdaughter, I keep saying that, but we were never married. It was supposed to be, that's why I say that. She had an autistic friend that I saved her life because they were out drinking down at the fucking front. We get a call from Jocelyn saying that her friend's not doing well. We don't really have gas in the car. We had to scrounge up $10 and change. I had to run in there and fucking just like throw it on there. It's emergency. It's $10. Please give me my gas. And like kind of caused a scene, but it was serious and emergency. I get down there and she's like drunk, passed out, blood alcohol poisoning on the ground. The boys they're hanging out with are fucking laughing, making fun of her, kicking her, fucking pushing her around, dragging her around like a ragdoll puppet. And she's like, passed out, alcohol poisoning, like unreal. I pick her up and throw her over my shoulder, and she was like a rag doll, bro. Like, and it made me feel so fucking bad. And then I fucking grabbed her and put her down in the fucking car and drove like 100 fucking miles an hour to the fucking hospital. Rude as fuck. And I saved her life. And then they had to live flight her to OHSU, and her mom sat there and blasted all over Facebook and made it all about her instead of her daughter. Like, for real, dude. Unbelievable shit. I made a post on that. I just can't remember what I said. But I know I made her fucking mad, bro.
Well, I did everything I could to try to get everything in court, and I've had to deal with law enforcement doing this for 6 years. They fucking play this goddamn runaround, and I honestly, if you could go explain to just a few people with me what happened, we might be able to get a few people to go up there with me for my safety, because this is bullshit.
Right. Right. No, it is. It is complete and utter garbage bullshit, bro. All of it. All of it is, dude.
I'm probably...
Why are you like hearing a little pussy from over? Anyways.
Maybe because somebody's got a potty mouth.
Right? I'm just saying.
Alright, 19%. That's good.
Yeah, I am. That's fucking rude. This guy is a firefighter. I just heard. My mom will tell you that I was born deaf. I was born deaf. I actually have paperwork on this. It's not mine. Oh, but I'm about to lose all my paperwork too, just like you, because they're trying to take my house. I have till the end of the day to try to figure out a place. I'm about to fucking have it go here. But then I have to risk fucking having them fucking take it from me from here.
Well, we could probably save it for a few days by keeping it on rotation.
I gotta get it here and then get the wiring fixed to get it fucking running again, and then gas and shit. But yeah, it'd be nice to get it here for a couple of days to fucking get it fixed. Maybe that's just what I need to do is just get it here. But then I feel like more people are just trying to fucking get all my shit again. Like, that's what people have been doing. Let's see how much we can fucking steal from Andrew Lee before he kills himself. Who's winning?
They just leave us out here to be victimized.
Thank you. You're not wrong on that at all. That's complete truth.
Well, that's one of the things about a lot of the folks that you get along with, and even the ones that you don't. I mean, all of us have very similar experiences. All it takes is for us to stand up and speak. If it's just one person, it does no good. That's why every one of these people who want to have the mentality of, oh, well, you got to do it all yourself, that's why they all still out here on the streets.
I'm still out on the streets because I grew up on the streets. I'm PSK from Portland, and Even when I was doing good, I fucking went back to help people because
Shayna and Logan both have jobs.
Right.
They're both working together. They'll probably get unhomeless because they're working together. Whereas if you work that very same job, you'd never get unhomeless.
That's why I can't do it anymore. I don't want to do it anymore. I honestly, dude.
All right, well, I gotta go.
All right.
I gotta.
I know you do.
I gotta go try to find someone to help.
I want to help too, but like I am going to help. Like I said, I'm just explaining how I feel and why I haven't been, on top of my game. That's it.
I also gotta turn this thing off because I don't want to run out my battery.
You know what I mean? I do want to help. I'm not denying that. I am going to help if I'm allowed.
Well, I think you should be allowed since you're a witness to the calls this morning, but they'll also call into question your sanity like they usually do.
Oh, of course, every time. I mean, the fucking blowout at fucking Double Mountain, that was because of carbon monoxide poisoning from firefighting at Pineville, and I have proof of all that.
Well, I got to be able to find somebody who can advocate for me. That means they got to be able to look at what's going on.
Right.
They got to be willing to speak up, and
I can do all that shit. But I'm having such a hard time with myself.
Your mental stuff, it prevents you from being able to do that.
Thank you. Exactly. That's what I was gonna just get at. So.
And that's one of the biggest issues there. We're going through similar shit, but
I need fucking help too.
yeah.
Fuck yeah, you're not wrong. And I don't know how well or how with everything I can be. I'm not 100%. I am not 100%, and I know that.
Well, if we could get a few of their victims to go in at the same time, because this cannot be allowed to just continue to happen.
Right? I agree. And I've been agreeing. Like, I've seen it get worse and worse and worse and worse. It's like our whole country's literally about to fucking move into the fucking story plot of the movie Idiocracy.
Oh my God, yes, absolutely. That is exactly it.
And your whole Starbucks fucking thing, I just kept thinking of that, and I kept thinking of, what, Starbucks get a hand job? Or what, the difference between which Battlestar Galactica, the male version or the female version of Starbucks? What? Alright, you got Loki, right? Or you will?
I think he should walk with you because I wasn't able to
Yeah, you
shift
guys-
yesterday. Yeah.
Thank you.
You gonna meet me down there at the Sinclair?
Yeah, I'll meet you down there. Sounds good.
All right.
Oh, wait, we'll take this too.
Sure.
Thank you. I'll see you down there.
Yep.
Losing my fucking mind, man.
Oh, you lost it before we ever met. I forgive you.
I'm good. I'm just fucking off. All right.
How about I pretend everything is perfect? You see how impossible it is for me to get heard, but I'm in a calm environment, and I'm in a relatively quiet environment. There's a lot of stuff I'm able to do. But people get these stories in their head and they want to tell their stories, and I'm fine with helping them. They could help me, but it takes motivation. It also takes money. I don't have the money to jump through the hoops. I don't have enough money to take care of myself. They don't pay me enough to take care of myself. And as a result, any money that is taken away from that taking care of myself decreases my chances of being healthy. And you notice all of these agencies keep dipping out. Dipping out. Well, of course they're dipping out. They committed crimes. What the fuck do you expect them to do? Fuck. This is fucking insane. That's a problem. Dealing with an actual schizophrenic. I'm exhausted, I'm overwhelmed. This is the help I have to go to. want to be exhausted. I don't want to be overwhelmed. This is not a life worth living. I mean, I try to get help with my problems, and I end up helping everybody else with theirs. And then when they say they'll help me with mine, they just can't shut the fuck up about theirs. I gotta give them special exceptions and special headway and special leeway because they got mental issues themselves. That doesn't stop them from coming to me when they want help. Lighter don't fucking work. Alright. Yeah, there's no way in hell I was gonna go through those goddamn 911 calls again with him. There's no way in hell. He just started going off on his fucking shit. Oh my god, just fucking verify. Yes or no, did it happen or did it not? Not fucking... And he doesn't get that. He keeps offering to help, but his mental capacity pretty well prevents him from doing it. Fuck this goddamn country. And fuck everyone in it. I chose to be a good man. Chose. Sometimes being a good man means standing up for the rights of those who can't defend themselves. I cannot defend myself. Yes, I stopped in the middle of the road to let a man cross, and I'll let this man cross too. Oh, he's just getting into his car. He's got a ball though. Well, looks like somebody threw their push pops on the ground. Never called back. What the fuck? Why is it only at 5%? Jesus Christ, I've had it plugged in! I had it plugged in! I fucking had it plugged in! I had it plugged in! This is not okay! This is not okay! This is not okay! Come on, fucking charge it, god damn it. I'm not doing too good. I've been trying to turn in the cops. Nobody will go in with me. I got one guy who kind of, sorta, and I'm hoping, but he's got a bunch of stuff he's got to do. I got until the first. I should have had this stuff done a week ago. Oh my God, dude. I'm sorry. I don't mean to freak out at you. You know, I didn't call 911 because I hate you. I called 911 because you were bleeding a lot and I didn't want you to die. And they should have done something to help you, but they never do. But thank you for talking to me, by the way. I'm sorry for freaking out this morning. Just, they're doing the same shit to me. That guy whose window you broke, he fucking tried threatening me and harassing me yesterday. He tried claiming. He was trying to claim.
Building. This is the point. It's my fucking building. That motherfucker is fucking dumb. He's gonna get fucking shot by the federal fucking law, man. Fucking dumb. It's
Well, he claimed that I had a part in the breaking of the window.
He kicked the fucking apartment and stole her fucking car out of my fucking building, where they fucking have a parking lot.
Yes, sir.